Welcome, welcome. If any of you were on earlier, I had to stop because my press wasn't working quite right. So what I ended up doing, I ended up tearing this whole piece apart, taking everything off, cleaning out the brass bushings, bearings, bushing, as they were. Clean them out. My surface, there was something embedded in the front plate, and it was all gouged out and very rough. So I took a file to it, sanded it, got it down to 100 grit, nice and smooth. Put it all back together, oiled it, of course, and it's working great now. So yeah, I think it was a piece of hardened steel got stuck up in there and was just causing all sorts of damage, unfortunately. But got it fixed. So it is snowing outside, but it's not really too cold in the shop, mainly because I do have a shop heater, but I also have my forge running, and it's coming up to 1900 degrees right now, so yeah. So yeah, it's not really too cold out here, not on forge days. Where do I want to put this? I'm going to use the rolling mill next. I think we'll do it just like this. All right, so for anybody that's new to my page, my lives, my name's Brock. I am the owner and bladesmith of Woodson Knife Co. Right now I'm forging out a billet of my Death Kumai pattern. It's a lot of work. It's got 3 stages to it because it's got 100 layers of Damascus, 2 pieces of that, and a jacket of copper Damascus. And so the way it is the core is 1095 high carbon steel. On each side of that is a layer of copper, 100 layers of Damascus, another layer of copper, and then the copper Damascus jacket. I call it Death Kumai because when I was first learning this process, several times I got to the very end and the thing failed. And so we're talking 20, 30 hours, give or take, and it just goes all to hell when that happens. Since then, I've got the process down pretty good and haven't had a failure for a while. Knock on wood somewhere. But yeah, so I'm going to get this drawn out a little bit to the length and thickness I want. Then I'm going to transition over to making some chef's knives. I've got some of this 1085 Japanese cutlery steel 1-inch bars. So I'm making integral bolster chef's knives. This one's not quite. I still have some forge work to do on this, but it's really close. And that's generally, what they look like. I'll do different shapes a little bit here and there. But yeah. So that's what I've got going on, and this billet's ready for the rolling mill. Now, first with this rolling mill, I go kind of slow because the billet's uneven. It's got high spots, low spots, all that stuff. So I've got to knock all those down without biting off more than this can chew, because it'll just bog down and stop, which is a big pain. Freedom Forge, what's up, man? So the reason I use the rolling mill so much for these billets is once I get it down to the thickness I want, it's all the same thickness, the entire length of the billet, which is really helpful in the long run. So yeah, what else do I got going on? Yeah, that's about it. Hollywood, nice. I was just down there last summer. Was it last summer? Yeah, I think it was last summer. My oldest is stationed down there at Pendleton, and I took him his truck. Fanboy the rolling mill. Nice. Yeah, like I said, I really like it. I wish it had a little bit more power, a little bit more torque, but there's, I'm assuming, reasons for that because of the gear drive. Raining hard here in Hollywood. Yeah, it's snowing here. In fact, we got a couple minutes, not at least a minute before that's up to temp. So I'll show you guys what I'm dealing with here. I mean, we have a winter wonderland. This sucks. I'm sick of the snow. I really am. I'd be fine with rain. The family and I went to the Seattle Comic-Con this last weekend. We were actually in Seattle for like 6 days. It hardly rained there, which is unusual for Seattle. It was so nice not to be around snow. Let me check the billet. Here it was really trying hard on that pass. All right. I think that was the last of the high spots, so it's going to start getting a little bit more aggressive and start drawing out a little quicker. Ooh, so, all right, so I'm a nerd. That's part of the reason I went to Comic-Con. It was actually a Christmas present for our daughter, and she's 14, and she's a nerd like me. We didn't dress up, didn't do any cosplay, but we want to. And so my idea isn't really from a show or anything like that. Norse mythology, Brocker. So big Norse blacksmith, essentially, right? God blacksmith. I got to do a little bit more research on him and get some more details. But my thought is I'm going to make, and it's going to be usable, I'm going to make it out of leather. This is going to take a while because it's going to take a lot of leather. But I'm going to make a combat apron. Shoulder pads, drop down, have it so it splits so I can walk easier. And in my head, it's going to look really cool. We'll see how it turns out. Hey, Freedom, have a good day. DDU style canvas. I have no idea what that is. Ukrainian Army vest. I think that's vet. It's supposed to be vet, I'm guessing. Well, thanks for joining us. Appreciate you being here. Check this again. Almost. It's gotten pretty thin, so it starts heating up and moving a lot quicker. When I tore apart the press earlier, I just went ahead and just cleaned everything. And I'm really digging the way it looks. I need to keep it clean. I need to clean it more often. What am I working on today? So I am making a billet of my Death Kumai pattern. It's the final stage of it. I'm just drawing it out to the proper thickness. It's going to be for culinary knives, so I'm going to go pretty thin. I'm thinking 0.18, maybe a little thinner. Yeah, 0.18 is usually pretty good. Speaking of which, this is ready. Over on that one, back in the heat. So, and that's what I mean about this thing bogging down. If it hits a spot that's just too thick, it can't overcome it, it just stops and it will pop the breaker I've got set up for it. So I've got to turn it off real quick, pop the lever up. It's a pain. I hate it when that happens, but I do love the machine. So, all right, hey, thanks for joining me. If you don't already follow me, hit that follow button. Also, do me a favor, hit that like button. More times the better. And if you like watching forging, especially live, consider subscribing to the page. Or you can go check out my Patreon. I do in-depth videos on knife making. Currently, I am working on a start-to-finish 1,000-layer sacks. In fact, I've got it right here. So it's all forged out. This will be the edge. Next step, clean up the forge scale. In my design, I have fuller. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to put a fuller in, but I've got, well, this is a bad example. I'm not even going to worry about showing that. So I've got a new way of doing fullers using the grinder, smaller, thinner fullers. I haven't tried it yet, so I'm going to try it on this. But yeah, I'm stoked about this. So if you are interested in getting into knife making or learning some different techniques and such, check out my Patreon. It's just Woodson Knife Co. at Patreon, whatever. Go to Patreon and plug in Woodson Knife Co. It'll come up. Move this out of the way. That is ready. Looking like about quarter inch thick. And we're coming up on 24 inches long really fast. So I already cut off the sides where the mild steel is that I used to seal in the jacket. I just cut off the sides. I wanted to make sure I did have a point early on where forge jumped up over 2,000 degrees, so I wanted to make sure I didn't have anything melt out. It was all good. I was able to catch it fast enough. So this is Mishka. She's my service dog. So this is my own design, this pattern that I'm doing. I call it Death Kumai. It's a core of 1095. Then on each side of that is a layer of copper shim, hard layers of Damascus, another copper shim, and then the outside jacket, as it were, is copper Damascus. So when I first started this, I had several failures, and inevitably they all happened at this stage where it's almost done, and it just falls apart. It almost looks like it explodes when it's all done, when that happens. But I haven't had that happen in a while. I've got the process pretty well down. So this is what we're looking like. It's right about 1/4 inch thick still, maybe a hair less. And we are at 24 inches long, and that is usable material. At some point, I'll probably have to cut the billet in half Maybe not. I don't know. I usually do. Bloody Knuckle Forge. Hey, thanks for stopping in, buddy. Yeah, it's been productive. Had a few issues earlier. My press had a piece of hardened steel up underneath the bushings and the wear plate. And it was causing all sorts of problems, so I had to tear it all apart. But got it back together, cleaned up the press. It might not look that clean, but that's really clean compared to normal. Yeah, I think I'm going to get this billet done and finish that chef's knife that I've got almost done. And now I'm going to do another one. Which we'll use the press, or the power hammer. It's like watching paint dry. Man, I don't know. Eventually I need to get a bigger press. I do these big billets and there's so much surface area because I do them 4 inches wide. It takes forever to draw them out and it just doesn't have enough oomph to it. I really want the 25 ton. If I had to do it all over again, I would have saved a little longer and got to 25 ton. And then I would have been able to upgrade to the control system they have that came out like 6 months after I got mine. Now this looks really dark. There we go. You can see it's still got plenty of heat to it. All right, I want to check thickness. .239. So yeah, just under a 1/4 inch, and we're I think about 24 inches usable. I want to see if I can get this end piece off. I think I can do it. Oh yeah. There we go. All right, so this is just some of the mild steel that I use to wrap around the billet to make it airtight. We're just over 24 inches. The reason I know is because the inside of the forge before the bricks is 24 inches. And it's sticking out just past the brick. Not where the post is or anything like that, but the actual billet. All right. Now it's just going to take an extra minute for that to get up to temp. I guess I could, I'm going to throw that chef's knife in too. Why not? So that chef's knife just needs a little bit more tweaking. I need to clean up the edge, or where the edge is going to be. I got to use my new dog head hammer earlier. I'm going to make another one, because this was my first hammer that's finished. And it's not exactly straight. It's not perfect in a lot of different ways, but for my first hammer and just winging it, not too bad, and it worked really well earlier. Both flattening and drawing. So once I get down to almost a 1/4 inch thick, that's when I'll start running it through the rolling mill. It makes the whole billet an even thickness. And so I just use that, finish drawing it out. That way I'm not getting any real thin spots or anything like that. Thanks, man. Yeah, I've intended to take a class from somebody on making hammers, but I don't have anybody around me. So I think I might just keep at it. I am going to make a large one. It's not going to be a dog head, but I've got this 2.5 inch thick piece of 4140. I can't remember how many pounds it was, but it was more than I thought it was. Maybe it was like 5 or 6 pounds, something like that. It was a lot more weight than I thought. So my intention is I'm going to make a kind of a sledgehammer, almost short sledge. I've got a 4-pound cheap junk hammer. I want to replace it. Not today, though. Hey, how you doing? Yeah, I'm getting all the Bladesmiths in here today. Nice. I gotta do this on Fridays more often. I'm just trying to get caught up. Warhammer, yeah. I am gonna make a Warhammer, but it's gonna be for cosplay, costume. Yep. All right, let's see if we can. Nice. Yeah, the rolling mills they're helpful. Yeah, I saw a little bit of your video yesterday, but about Pepe, but is it Pepe or Pappy? I don't remember. Anyways, and I watched a little bit of his. I'm out of the loop. I've just been too freaking busy. Back to the rolling mill. Oh, come on. Okay. I think it's time to break that last bit of mild steel off and get rid of the post. That way I can flip the billet end over end. Might be harder on this side. Nope. There we go. Oh, come on. There we go, finally. Yeah, once or twice. Well, the reason I call this pattern Death Kumai is I learned how to make kumai on my own. I couldn't figure out, or I couldn't find anybody to give me any kind of advice. So I made like 2 successful kumai billets. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna get crazy with it, and came up with this pattern and got it on the first try. And then like the 3 tries after that, they all failed, and they failed in spectacular form, and it all happened right here. Just, I mean, it was just falling apart. What happened, got a little too hot. And it happens really quickly and really easily when it starts getting really thin, especially with the copper Damascus on the outside. Hey, Full Throttle, thank you, appreciate it. Thanks, man. Dude, I was excited to use this hammer. I started this, was it last week? I think I did. I think I started that hammer last week and did the heat treat and temper yesterday. Profiled it as well. Yeah. Yeah, kumai can be hard, especially if you don't know the formula, the basics of it. You know, having an airtight billet and keeping it under 1984 degrees. I mean, those are really the major things you need to know. But when I first was starting out, I couldn't find anybody that would tell me. Everybody just had the same answer. It was either I had to figure it out, so you have to figure it out, or do your research. Go Google it. Which is ironic because asking people for information is research. Well, and I think you might be talking about the sword billet, and that was brass Damascus and copper. Almost, 0.19. And honestly, I could stop there and that'd be fine, but we're going to go just a little bit further. Yeah, I did not do any strike tests on my blade before I sent it. I did bend tests because that's what I was really worried about, was the bend test. But man, when David Baker started swinging that sword of mine, oh, that's rough. Lucky. See, I I was taught how to do Damascus right when I started, like the same month I started. I was taught how to do Damascus, and it was, here, make a billet. It's like this long. There you go, have fun. Figure the rest out on your own. Yeah, it can be scary having somebody test your blade like that. Oops. Helps if I go the right direction. So this is a technique I picked up from Jason Knight. Wonk in the edge, so I'm going to go put it back in the heat. And back to the rolling mill. I said this earlier, but this looks really cold. It's because of all the light. Still have plenty of color, but I can only really see it in the shadow. Oops. Tap, tap, tap. Little tappity tap, tap. All right. It's pretty good. All right, man, have a good one. Yeah, so last year was just buy as much big equipment as I could afford. I went full-time last year, and now everything's slowed down. Nature of the beast. Hopefully things pick up. How long do you guys think this thing's gonna be? It's 4 inches wide. The inside of my forge is 24 inches. And people ask why I have such a big forge. All right, hey everybody, welcome. Give my little spiel for those that are new here. My name's Brock. I'm the owner and bladesmith of Woodson Knife Co. Right now I'm finishing up a billet of my Death Kumai pattern. It's got tons of copper in it, so I have to be really careful with it or it's just gonna fall apart. I'm in the very last stage, it's almost done. But after this, I'm gonna forge out a chef's knife with this. This is 10A5 Japanese cutlery steel. So I'm gonna forge out an integral bolster chef's knife. Now, if you guys have any questions, put them in the comments, I will answer. Also, check out my other videos and my website, woodsonKnifeco.com. Sorry, I'm just doing a little adjusting on the billet. The far end of it wasn't getting hot enough, so I pulled it out a little bit. We're gonna run it through the rolling mill. Then I'm gonna run it through the flattening dies on the press. And then it's hanging. Crank up the forge temp. Start working on that chef's knife. Yeah, there we go. Alright, back in the fire. Let's go change out those dies. Oh, I should grab my gloves. Even if my dies are cold, I always wear gloves. too many times when I was first starting out, grabbed them without gloves. So I just got in the habit. Since I've cleaned everything else on the press, just trying to clean the dies as I go. Yeah, I think this thing's ready. Oh yeah. One end is. Okay. Last little bit. Now, would you believe me when I say this isn't the biggest billet I've done as far as length? I did a billet, actually I think it was a Death Kumai billet. I had cut in half because it was over 24 inches when it got to a 1/4 inch thick. Like well over. And it ended up being like 38 inches, or no, 32 inches overall. So I'm curious how long this one is. I think it was 32 or 36. Now I can't remember. That's what we're waiting on. So close. Enough. Okay. Turn up the forge. just a hair. Well, that may have been too much. All right, now for the Japanese cutlery steel. Yes, it is a 16 plus. Be right back. Okay, let me find a tape measure. I want to see how long that fillet is. And even though I've got like 10 tape measures, I can never find them. Alright. It's right about 4 inches wide, just a hair over, but that it'll be just under 4 when it's all done. We are at 32 3/4. That's a massive fillet. All right, and I need to change out the dies again. So I'm going to switch out to my combos. I like to use those for isolation, for isolating the blade and the tang and all that. I don't have what are they called? I want to say guillotine built dies, but that's not right. Clean the press up, so I'm trying to just clean everything since I got it looking nice. What I should have done, is taken him outside and hit him with some brake clean. That would work really well. All right, hey, we are at 646 likes. See if we can get to 1,000, maybe 1,500. That'd be cool. It also, by doing the likes, sharing, comments, all that, helps get this live out to more people. Which helps me grow my page. And my TikTok has died. I got shadow banned like 3-4 months ago, and have barely gotten any followers since then. It's rough. Especially because it does directly affect my business, because I actually get a lot of custom orders off of TikTok. I'm trying to think of how big a knife I want to do. That's all I want right now after this. So I'm back in the heat. And we're going to go over to the power hammer. Clean this thing next, apparently. Hey, how you doing? Thanks for joining. All right. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to work on the tip. We're just going to basically make it to a cone, go back in the heat. And start trying to draw out the bevels and draw out the heel. Hello, hello. I'm doing pretty good. I mean, it's Friday. It's been a busy half week for me. Busy is good. So, yeah. All right. So I want to get really proficient with the integral bolsters. Not just the chef's knives, but focusing on chef's knives right now. Well, hey, thanks for stopping in. I appreciate it. Have a great weekend. This is going to be a huge knife. I isolated that way back. And actually, I could look at this again. You know what? We're just going to roll with it. It's going to be a little longer than normal, I think, but maybe not. Maybe I'm wrong. like I said, I'm still getting the finer points of this down. I'm going to try something a little different. I don't know if it's going to work well, but why not? We already got the press set up, so. Once that's up to temp, I'm going to come in and angle. What I'm actually going to try to do is upset the steel back towards the heel area. We'll see. Of course, not as much as I wanted, but we're just trying out new things at this point. Woo! And right out of the tongs. This is going to be a big knife. All right, hey, I see we're getting more people in here. Welcome. Yes, Mishka, come here. Oh. All right, so my service dog, Mishka, she goes everywhere with me. And a lot of times when I'm talking, when I'm talking, she will decide she isn't getting enough attention. Good for that for right now. this out before I get there. Speaking of hammer, once we get to that point, if I have time today, I may not, but we'll see, to use my new hammer again. So I made this, I actually finished it this morning. This is my first hammer. It's not perfect, it's far from perfect, but with zero instruction and just looking at pictures, I don't think it turned out too bad. It's a little crooked on the head, but the next one will be way better. But I am proud of that one. And it works. I used it a little earlier, it works well. Starting that distal taper. Do some cleanup on the anvil. See, I want to make hammers like this. Future endeavor. All right, I'm gonna do my little spiel because I see we got a bunch more people in here. All right, hey everybody, welcome. My name's Brock. I'm the owner of Bladesmith of Woodson Knife Co. There's my logo. Right now, I am working on forging out an integral bolster chef's knife. Well, it might not end up being a chef's knife. We'll see. I don't have a real vision for this blade. I'm just going. I'm trying to practice this technique so I can get really proficient at it. Now what I'm using is 10A5 Japanese cutlery steel in a 1-inch bar. Really good stuff. It's pretty easy to work with actually, compared to some. There's our heel. Now, if any of you have any questions, put them in the comments. I will answer, even if it's not about knife making. If you're interested in my work, I do have a link in my bio. It's got my Facebook, Instagram, and my website, woodsonKnifeCo.com. If you're interested in a special order, go to the website. There's a little form to fill out, or you can just shoot me a message through the website. Give me as much detail as you want, and I'll give you a price. And for special orders, I don't ask for the entire amount up front. I only ask for, if it's under $1,000, $100 deposit. If it's over 20% down, and payments are fine. Hey, how you doing? Thanks for joining. So for those of you that follow and seen my lives before, typically it's on Mondays. But with the past 2 weeks have been so jumbled up for me and short. I mean, we're out of town until Wednesday this week. Well, Tuesday night. Yeah, Tuesday night. So didn't have a Monday live, but figured I'd do some today. I keep saying I'm going to try to do more lives, and inevitably something comes up and I can't, or forget. Whatever. I did try. I tried Instagram Live and YouTube Live today, which Instagram was fine. I had a few people that follow me on there, and but the YouTube, big fat goose egg. What I'm trying to do is test the waters for doing lives on other platforms, just in case TikTok gets taken down here in the US. And also because I've been on flipping shadow ban for four months, maybe more, on TikTok, and it has killed my page and severely affected the amount of custom orders I get. So I'm just trying to rectify that, and hopefully my page starts growing again. We'll see. All right, let's get some length on this guy. All right, we're gonna get it hot and fix this. Welcome, welcome. Are you feeling ignored? past 2 weeks, it's just been go, go, go. And she's been at my side through all of it, of course. That's Mishka. She's my service dog. We went to North Carolina for the last Blade Standing finals 2 weekends ago. And then Seattle for the Seattle Comic-Con this past weekend. So, yeah, I think she's feeling a little neglected because she hasn't been at my side constantly the past few days. Heck yeah, I appreciate it. Well, and I've got that. I haven't gotten anywhere with the build really. I still got to do the mosaic Damascus. I've got the brass Damascus done, but I've got that blade design coming up to do the inlays and jewels and all that. So that's going to be a heck of a project. Okay, this looks like it's ready. I did this in a wrong order, but ooh, nice. Yep. So I was in the Marine Corps, and now my oldest son, he's active duty in the Marine Corps. But he's got like, I think, a year and a half left, and he is chomping at the bit to get out. Hey, how you doing? Welcome. Yeah, I think next time I do one of these blades, what I need to do is go rewatch Jason Knight's video on how to do this, just so I can refresh my brain on the order of things, because I definitely did this one out of order. It'll be fine in the long run, it just takes more time. He's got it down to so efficient, and I got the opportunity 2 summers ago to go down to his place for a couple days, and I got to forge a couple integral chefs with him, and he makes it look so easy, and he does it so quickly, but he's a great teacher, and this is a skill that I have not practiced near as much as I intended to. But we're getting there now. Part of that was because I had trouble finding the steel that I wanted. Hey, simplify. Oh, right on. Yeah, he got married this past year, and they got a place down just off base in San Diego. Not actually in San Diego, north by Camp Pendleton. And sounds like when he gets out, they're going to come stay with us for a little bit until they get everything figured out financially and find a place and get jobs going and all that. Hey, nice. I always enjoy having chefs on here. Do another heat and I'll show you something with a chef's knife I finished yesterday. This. So I made a mistake early on with this, so I'm trying to fix it. I'll be able to, but we got a lot of tweaking to do right now. All right, hold on. I'm going to grab this knife. All right, so here is a hand-forged chef's knife, 12-inch chef. Finished this yesterday. It's made out of 52-100. Can your chef's knife do that? All right, where'd that piece of rope go? I don't need fire hazards hiding around the shop, but Michael, what do you mean the metal? They want 20. What do you mean? 20 what? Do this. All right, now we're going to go back to the power hammer. Chef's knives, I can do that. Yeah, most of my work is special orders, so yeah, I can definitely do that. And of course, I give a bulk discount, something like that. But that would be a lot of fun. Yeah, Michael, shoot me a message through my website is the best way to do it, because TikTok Messenger sucks. But WoodsonKnifeCo.com, shoot me a message there and we can talk about it, figure it out. Jacob, I'm doing good. How are you, man? All right, let's see if we can make this ugly thing a knife. Alright, so here's why I forged out. I finished it earlier today, but I started it a couple weeks ago actually. But nice. Whew, excuse me. Distal taper. There's a little thick spot right there on the spine. That'll come out during grinding and profiling, of course, but nice tapers. I'm pretty happy with it so far. Nice, Jacob. Thank you. Grill some burgers, man. I got beef with you, Jacob. Pun intended. I'm not grilling shit. It's still snowing out. I do grill during the winter, but actually that's a really good idea. I should grill something nice. My wife told me earlier that she didn't have anything planned for dinner, so it's on me. We're going to go clean this up a little bit more. Whoop. This thing cracks me up. I really let this get away from me. Ooh. Oh, I missed. Look at that. That's all right. Didn't quite go right back to where it was, but pretty close. And when I profile, you won't even, that'll be gone. Yeah, I was just kidding about the not grilling in wintertime. I don't care. I live in eastern Washington. We get snow like this all winter. But grilling up some burgers, man, that does sound pretty good. I don't know. I'll have to think about that. Well, I haven't eaten since breakfast either, so yeah. I bet. Yeah, see, I'm out here all day. The only thing I've got is coffee. I got a fridge full of beer, but like 6 months ago, I just stopped drinking. It just stopped being fun for me. I don't know. I just kind of randomly stopped, and like 2 months after I did, I started shedding weight like crazy, which I should have known was going to happen, because when I went to Iraq, you can't drink, and I didn't drink much before. Maybe once or twice, a couple drinks on the weekends, right? When I went to Iraq, you can't drink. There's nothing there. I lost a ton of weight there. And so it's happening again. And so what I've realized is alcohol at all in my life makes me fat. I can eat junk food all day. And I have an unhealthy obsession with these new jelly bean nerds. They're basically jelly beans coated with the nerd candy, but it's a shell. It's not just the nerd sticking to it. Taste, texture, I just can't get over it. Which is probably kind of dumb. I like this. So I finished this hammer this morning. This is the first hammer I've ever made. It's just not been anything that I've had a drive to really do for whatever reason. I've just been too focused on knives and swords. So I made this dog head hammer, and they're really good for doing bellies. And I see why. I like it. It's got my amp bill's a little high for it. But I'm getting used to it. I like a high amp bill. In fact, this is going to be perfect for when I'm doing roller forging because I'm up a good 4 inches. So this will hit perfect then. If you don't know what I'm talking about with roller forging, go check out my videos. Yeah, you know, and I wasn't a huge beer drinker. I was more into whiskey. I like Jameson on the rocks. That's my go-to. It just doesn't hit the spot anymore. Hey, have a great one, Jacob. Thanks for watching. Thanks for stopping in. Back to the power hammer. Yeah, it's going to take me a little bit to get used to using that hammer. Every time I get a new hammer, they all swing a little different, they hit a little different. So it takes a little time to figure them out. Here. All right, so now I'm going to really start trying to pull the bevels down. It's going to bring the tip up a little bit, at least it should. If not a big deal. I can fix that later. Yeah, so after that, we'll isolate it for where the tank's going to be and where the bolster's going to be itself. Get the tang drawn out, and then we'll start straightening. how many times I get that comment. And it's always with this. Yeah, I mean, I get it. I understand 100%. I think it's hilarious. Ugh. Wacky, wacky. Man, this one got really weird. All right, I'll show you what my integral bolsters usually look something like this after they're forged, or close to it. This one has been profiled a little bit, but the one I'm doing right now, got out of hand. All right, we're good. The cool thing about stuff like this is, yes, kitchen knife. The cool thing about these, if the shape's not perfect, you can still fix it on the grinder as long as you leave enough material. It's not very often that I've had knives that got thrown in the bin because the shape got wonky. Usually you can fix them. Or make them into something different than you thought they were going to be. As bladesmiths, we don't make mistakes. We make smaller knives. everybody, welcome to my live. If you're just joining, my name's Brock. I'm the owner of Bladesmith of Woodson Knife Co. Right now I'm working on an integral bolster chef's knife, kitchen knife. It was going to be a chef's knife, not too sure right now. It's going to be a knife. It's made out of 1085 Japanese cutlery steel. I'm doing it out of a 1-inch bar. And yeah, if you are interested in my products, check out my website, woodsonKnifeco.com. If you want something custom, that's most of my business. So again, woodsonKnifeco.com. Shoot me a message through the website, tell me what you're interested in, and I'll give you a price. Alright. It's kind of ugly, but it'll be cool when it's done. Alright, now to isolate the tang. Alright, so I'm going to use my drawing dice to isolate the tang and start pulling it out. There's going to be a hidden tang. You can do full tangs with the integral bolsters, but I'm not honestly a huge fan. I think the hidden tangs look a lot better. But that's just my opinion. I've done them both ways. Okay, next thing we're going to do is a hot cut. I'm not a fan of doing hot cuts. Just don't. They're fine. It's just not something I am crazy about doing. I'd rather use a saw or even a die grinder. Hey, so I had an oil problem with my power hammer. The oil it came with was too thick for my environment, and so I just switched over to a different oil. Well, the old oil's still in the line, and it had to go through, and it finally just did. It started leaking oil everywhere. That leaks out. I'll just leave that there. All right, back to the anvil and the task at hand. All right, blade is nice and hot. Big cheap hammer. All right. Okay, we're going to go back to the press, bring out that tang just a little bit, and then once I got far enough lengthwise, go over the power hammer. It's just drawing that out. Once I get it that long, maybe, take it over the power hammer, draw it out to a nice long point. I'm going to put a loop in the end, just like that. So the reason I do this is the kiln I use is a Genken airbag. The blades hang in there. So I put a rod through here, I hang. That helps keep the blades nice and straight. Yeah, this is another integral bolster chef's knife that it's already hardened. I just got to do the final grinds on it. This one is actually going to be part of a promotion I'm going to be doing. I made some challenge coins. I made 20 of them. I may make more. I haven't decided yet. But I'm going to sell the challenge coins, and each challenge coin is serialized, numbered. And one of them is going to get selected for this knife, and they're going to get to pick the handle material and the finish. So yeah. And hey, if you guys have any questions at all, put them in the comments. I will answer. So now if you guys have never watched knives being made, the process takes a lot longer than most people would think. Forging is such a small portion of it, 25% maybe of actual knife making, because you have all the profiling work to do for the shape of the knife. You've got the heat treat and the temper. Then you have the grinding to actually make the bevels right, and finish work, then handle work, and sharpening. There's so much that goes into knife making that people don't realize. Now one of these lives, I'm gonna forge out a knife, like an everyday carry knife, just a short 3-inch blade, integral bolster, and I'm gonna do a giveaway on here. It's not a hammer. This is a press. My power hammer is over there. So this is a forged press. And it's made by Pole Iron Works. And I love this machine. This was my first big piece of equipment for knife making, and I use this more than anything else for the actual forging. Okay, get that hot. Yeah, and that's why I like it. It's a lot slower than the power hammer, but I can be more accurate, significantly more. Yeah, I have a pedal on the press, and I get crap about not using that almost on every live from people that aren't even bladesmiths. But I don't use the pedal on the press because I can be a lot more accurate with my hand, and it's just more comfortable for me. Now on this does have a hand lever, but I always use the foot pedal. Yeah, but I do forge big pieces. And honestly, that press is a 16 ton, and I wish I had gotten their 25 ton. But at the same time, there's 50 ton machines out there that I would absolutely love to have. There's ones that are bigger than that, but I'm thinking 25 or a 50 would be perfect for what I do, because I do a lot of really big billets. We're talking a billet of Damascus that starts out as a 4-inch cube. I do those quite often. we're getting there. This is getting pretty close. And so if you don't already follow me, hit that follow button. Also, do me a favor if you're enjoying watching me mess around with this chef's knife and hit really hot steel, hit that like button a few times. Rest we'll do on the anvil. I know there's somebody somewhere thinking about a dirty joke. Shame. All right. Nice thing is when it gets down to this thin, it doesn't take very long at all to get up to temp. Especially when the forge is 2078 degrees. And yes, that's the actual temp. I'm thinking one of these days, not next week, but maybe the next week after that, I'm going to do a live forging. I'm just going to forge out chef's knives and little integral hunters. Spend a whole day doing it. Right? Now we're going to straighten it. right, that's in line. That was it. All right, so now we hang it. All right, so that's it for today. I'm gonna go pick up the little one and try to figure out what I'm gonna make for dinner for everybody. So, all right, hey, I hope you guys enjoyed. Again, if you already follow me, hit that follow button and go check out my other videos. And if you're so inclined, my website, the link is in my bio. So, as always, be kind, much love, have a great weekend.